Hi and welcome to my channel. I just turned 40 and I feel it's such a big number, but in today's video I want to introduce you to 40 things I learned about digital income streams and success. And I hope this video will help you to get started with one or more digital income streams. And if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. So without further ado, subscribe to my channel and like this video, and let's get started. Number 1, starting small is better than perfection. You know, sometimes you're just waiting for the right moment, but you just have to make the first small step. And this is much bigger than waiting for the perfect moment. Number 2, fear is natural. Taking action is the best to overcome it. I think there's a misconception about fear. It is not about avoiding fear, but rather than taking it as a motivation. And also by overcoming fear, it gives you a boost of energy and the feeling of you can handle it. Consistency beats perfection every time. Of course, perfection already is quite an abstract kind of concept, but consistency is quite a simple concept. And by being consistent, you will make progress. You don't have to wait for the perfect circumstances or whatever you consider perfect. Confidence is built by doing, not waiting. So some people really talk to themselves and say like, if I have the confidence, then I will start. But again, it's quite a misconception that you have to have confidence first before you start. Confidence is something which will grow over time, and by taking action and doing the things, you will learn, and you should trust that by doing things, your confidence will automatically grow. Number 5, passive income can be a lot of effort up front, but it also can be life-changing. Passive income is still a little bit of a weird expression because sometimes you still have to do things to actually get an outcome. But normally passive income is, for example, you create a digital product, you put a lot of effort and sweat into it, but once it's created, it lives on the internet and people can access it and can pay for it. So you don't have to do anything anymore. Number 6, you don't have to have a perfect idea to start. Just come up with some idea, test it and adapt as you go. I have experienced it myself so many times that you really try to find a perfect idea. In theory, it looks good on paper and you have done everything you think for the idea to actually make it work, and then you start and it's actually not what you thought. Rather than having this whole process of coming up with this perfect idea, I would say just put something out there and see how the reactions are and go from there. Number 7, listening to your audience is the secret to create something valuable. I feel sometimes the audience is really underestimated, and honestly I sometimes forget as well, because all I can see sometimes is my own head, you know, my own thoughts, my own feelings. But by getting actually feedback from the audience, you get so much value and you can give them so much value. So having said that, please comment down below if you have any feedback. It would be much appreciated. I want to listen to my audience. Number 8, celebrate small wins. They are the building block of success. And I'm so guilty of this myself. I don't celebrate small wins, you know, often enough. And it can be anything. It can be a new subscriber or someone who paid for your service, or you know, like someone sent you an email back from your newsletter. I think there are so many small wins you can actually celebrate, and you should definitely do it. Number 9, progress matters more than speed. Just keep moving forward. Sometimes you have the feeling that a slow progress is just not right, because you can hear all these stories sometimes where someone made 10,000 in a month and they started 3 months ago, and you just think this is the bar, this is what I have to do, and if I don't do it, I fail. Slow progress is still progress. Number 10, failure is not the end. It's feedback to improve and grow. Failure is such a big word as well. Like, I wouldn't even say sometimes you fail, because it's more that you learned. So every time you have the feeling you are failing, Don't see it as failure, but see it as a lesson. Number 11, marketing is as important as creating your product. And I know this is a tricky one because I have heard from many sometimes that marketing is kind of the hardest part, but this is also something you can learn. So you just have to put some effort into learning how you can market your products. Number 12, investing in tools and education will accelerate your growth. And I know this is sometimes a hard one when you don't have much money. You have to kind of invest a little bit of money to make progress. And we're not talking about super quick progress, but sometimes life is so much easier when you use certain tools, to create products, for example, or also if you do some coaching or courses. This can help you to really grow. It sometimes gives you the awareness you need. Number 13, storytelling is one of the most powerful ways to connect to people. And again, this is not an easy thing. Like, storytelling sounds really amazing, but sometimes it's just hard to translate it to the real world. But yeah, it means like really tell your own personal story to people, or even talk to people and share their story, because it's inspirational and it gives people hope. Number 14, a clear, simple offer often outperforms something complicated. And this is sometimes not very obvious, because when we have an offer, we think, the way we describe it makes sense, but test it with people and see what they think. I have done this myself, where I put out, descriptions of what I wanted to do, and I got always feedback back: simplify. No one really understands, all the jargon and all the things around it. Make it simple. Number 15, starting with one income stream builds confidence to try others. Sometimes, and I'm actually guilty of this myself, I wanted to do a lot of things. I was like, I have to build several income streams, online income streams. So I started this and this and this. But then I never really concentrated on one thing for a period of time. And that made it actually harder to really grow within one online income stream. And when you have kind of nailed one income stream, it gives you the confidence to then say, I will apply this to maybe another online income stream, because that's what you want to do. You want to diversify your income streams. Number 16, the best time to start was yesterday, and the second best time is today. Sometimes we can get hung up on, why have I not started? I should have done it already. All these YouTubers, they started when it wasn't that popular, and now here I am, want to start, and it's so much harder. But honestly, really get rid of that kind of mindset, because it's not about the past, it's what you can do today, and do your best today and start. Number 17, surround yourself with people who inspire and challenge you. And that can be sometimes a little bit tricky if your direct connections don't really have the same mindset as you. But luckily in this world, there is a lot of online communities. There are coaches, there are peers you can find online, and there are even events where you can find like-minded people. Number 18, learning to say no is essential for staying focused. And I think that can be sometimes really hard to say no to things, because you just want to get things going. But it is also very important that you focus on the right things. And when you say yes to things which maybe don't bring you growth or, can get you in the right direction, then it's better to say no. Number 19, celebrate every milestone, no matter how small. It keeps you motivated. And it's similar to celebrating small wins. You might as well set yourself like milestones. So the small wins are probably things you haven't really put on your goals list, and the milestones is something you are anticipating, you're hoping for, you're working towards to. So make sure to also celebrate those milestones. Number 20, digital products can generate income while you sleep. And honestly, I'm not saying that this will be on day one when you publish your digital products, ebooks, templates, whatever. But when you create digital products, there is a likelihood that you will make a sale whilst you're actually sleeping. And that happens to me quite a bit with Etsy. When I wake up in the morning, I love looking at my phone and see how many actually purchased my products on Etsy. It's a great feeling. Number 21, listening to feedback helps you to refine and improve your work. And this feedback can come from your audience, it can come from like friends or family, or from like-minded people in a community. Either way, it really helps you to think about your products and improve them. Number 22, diversifying income streams protects against financial risk. And I mentioned it a little bit earlier already, but having different income streams, and that can even include your full-time job, just gives you a little bit more ease and reduces the financial stress you maybe have if one income stream just vanishes overnight. Number 23, trust your journey. Your timeline doesn't have to match anyone else's. It's really hard, but try not to compare yourself with anyone else. And also, success looks different for everyone. So your milestones, your small wins are probably different from someone else. And it's very important that you don't compare yourself all the time, because you might actually think you're failing, or even worse, you want to quit. Number 24, you don't need expensive tools to start. Start with what you have. Most of us have a laptop or a smartphone, or maybe one of them, and that's normally already enough to get going. Number 25, balancing ambition with rest is the key to success. Honestly, I am surprised and not surprised that every now and then I hear someone talking about their burnout, and you just feel really sorry for them because they seem so successful, but then they really risk their health. And burnout is nothing I wish anyone, because it's a horrible feeling. And therefore, if you start out, just make sure you have the right balance. You don't have to hustle just to be successful. Number 26, knowing your why keeps you going when times are getting tough. Knowing your why and knowing the purpose of what you are doing is kind of a key element when you start anything. And it could be anything from, I really want just flexibility, I want to look after my family, I want to spend more time with my kids. Whatever it is, know why you're doing what you're doing. Number 27, the first step is always the hardest, but it's also the most important. And I don't want to freak you out that the first step is the most important. It can be the smallest steps of all, but making that step really makes a difference. Number 28, action creates clarity. Don't wait to figure it out before starting. And I totally get it. Like, I love planning. I love to just put all the steps down and even talk to ChatGPT and like plan for 2025, to plan my marketing, plan my content, da-di-da-di-da. But if you don't actually take action and do what you have written down, then it was all for nothing. Number 29, learning is a lifelong process. Stay curious and open to new ideas. One example is AI, I would say. It is something where there are really divided opinions, but at the end of the day, I would say just try to stay open and curious about AI, what it can do for you. Try to see the positive sides for yourself and others. Obviously, you don't have to get rid of your critical thinking, but at the end of the day, you will be more successful if you stay open and curious. Number 30, time management is crucial when you juggle multiple responsibilities. Plan your day with intention around work, family, and side projects. And honestly, if you haven't figured out time management yet, it is something to definitely learn, but there is a guarantee that you can improve on it. You just need to figure it out also by doing. I remember when I started out, my time management was horrible, just because when you work at a job, you have to have a little bit of time management to a degree, but normally all the goals are really set for you and you just have to follow it. And when you are by yourself and working on a project, on an income stream, you have to make a plan what your days look like. Number 31. Building an audience takes time, but authenticity will speed up the process. And I'm not saying that it will accelerate and like just because you're authentic, people are coming by storm, you know, of course not. But just trust in the process that when you stay true to yourself, you will attract the right people. And I'm hoping to do that with my YouTube channel as well. Number 32, overthinking can stop you before you start. Just start and adjust as you go. I think probably the majority of us really overthinks. I think that is something we just do these days, and it really stops us from starting anything. I feel like sometimes your first things you put out there could be maybe terrible or, you know, not so well thought through. No one will really notice because you probably haven't a big audience yet. So stop overthinking and start. Number 33, treat every setback as a lesson. It's part of the process. It's almost impossible to avoid challenges and obstacles when you create something and when you put something out there. Really treat it as opportunities and you will feel so much better. Number 34, a flexible lifestyle doesn't happen overnight. It's built step by step. And this is such an important point because what we see sometimes out there on YouTube and social media in general always looks like they have figured it out overnight. The success came overnight. They maybe nailed it with one video or with one product. And we don't really see all the effort, all the failures, all the setbacks which happened before. Number 35, rest and recovery are as important as the work itself. Taking breaks improves focus, creativity, and resilience. Number 36, the most successful people embrace discomfort. It's where growth happens. I recently read a book called The Comfort Crisis, and honestly, I never really thought about it, but we really try to avoid feeling uncomfortable. But yeah, as I said, by feeling uncomfortable and pushing through, this is actually where you can really grow and be more successful than other people probably are. Number 37, testing your ideas is better than waiting for perfection. And I know I've talked about perfection a few times, but I feel like you really have to digest this, that you have to start. And even if it doesn't look perfect for you, because it's all about yourself and how you see things, you will never start and you will never progress and you will never grow. Number 38, you can't do everything. So prioritize what aligns with your goals. And honestly, that's such a tricky one. I had a period of time, and I probably will continue to have them, where I really wanted to nail every aspect of like a side hustle or an income stream or like a business, you know. You have to do an email newsletter, you have to do content, and you have to have content on so many social media channels. And then you have to create the product, and then you have to marketing them, and you know, it like there is so much to do, but it will just feel overwhelming, and sometimes you just end up freezing and not doing anything. And prioritizing is just the way to go. Number 39, clarity comes from action, not over planning. Again, we do need a little bit of planning. I found that actually very helpful for some kind of clarity, but if I never start with anything I put on my plan, then it would just not work and all the planning was for nothing. So I rather write down a little bit and then take action, and then I can refine my plans. And number 40, you're capable of more than you think. Trust yourself and begin. This is all about mindset, and I think so many people will, you know, be very stuck with when you start or before you even start, you just don't know if you will be successful, whatever that means. But by trusting the process and trusting yourself that you will figure it out, that you will grow, that you will learn, you have a much better time and you're more likely to start and take each step when it is necessary. Let me know in the comments down below which point resonated with you the most. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and I see you in my next video. Bye!